No cat this morning. Cats are fickle. One time I heard a person say that dogs have owners and cats have staff. So who knows what he's up to? Anyway, what are you up to? Have you come up with any answers to the question, who am I? Fascinating question. It just keeps drilling in deeper and deeper and deeper into the truth of who we are. The One of the most amazing examples of that phrase, um, I am, or who am I, or who I am, that kind of language is in the Old Testament where Moses has his burning bush experience and is somehow, some way, in some mystical, remarkable, astonishing, miraculous way, the truth of the laws and the principles of being are downloaded into his head, that he is then charged with the assignment of bringing them to the people, back down from the mountain, back down from the higher place. Before Moses splits to bring the tablets back down, he says, but how am I to, who am I to say sent me? On what authority am I bringing these laws and principles to the people? Who am I to tell them? And the burning bush, whatever that is, whatever you think it might be, says back, tell them that I am that I am sent you. Tell them I am that I am sent you. Now, of all the spiritual phrases and statements that are in existence, that is for me the hardest one to wrap my head around, because I can't. It is literally impossible to wrap my head around that. And I don't think it's meant that we mortals are meant to wrap our head around that statement. It's unwrappable. In other words, tell them I am that I am sent you is mind-blowing. It's astonishing. It's beyond conceptual grasp. It is designed in the best way that language could ever be used to not give conceptual understanding, but to break the mold. So you can imagine Moses hearing that, and that must have thrown him off a little bit, because if you ever saw the movie History of the World Part 1 with Mel Brooks, Moses is coming back down the mountain, somewhat disoriented from his experience, and he's got the three tablets with the 15 commandments, and he trips, and he says, I bring to the world these 10 commandments. So I've wondered the rest of my life, what are the 5 missing commandments? And clearly we're missing 5 of them based on the worldly condition right now. But be that as it may, this phrase that I am is, well, that's who we are too. We are that we are. Now, how are we to find out the answer to the question, who am I? I keep reverting back to the way that my Indian teacher said it. Her English was a little broken. She would say, who I am, and it was charming and wonderful. And she was a genius. She wrote 30 books, and I'm currently up to 0 books written, so I'm not making fun of her. But this, when it comes to who am I, are you familiar with hoarders, people that save everything? I'm sure that's present company excluded, right? So, but the people who just, sometimes they pass away and other friends come into their house, and it's somewhat shocking and appalling. Monopoly games from 1937, little scraps of paper. And, I don't mean to be gratuitous or morbid or gross about this, but it's astonishing the degree to which we accumulate. Now, in yoga scripture, there's actually a name for all the stuff that we accumulate inside of ourselves, and the word is prakriti. Prakriti. That's as close as I can come. My Sanskrit is abased, to say the least. But prakriti Prakriti is the all the stuff that we accumulate. And let's face it, some of us are um, likely to, well, some of us accumulate more than others. Some of us really overly accumulate. And so there's something else in yoga, and it's the space within which all of the stuff fits. That's called purusha. And one of the great insights of the yoga scriptures, of all scriptures anywhere, is this differential, this vast categorical dichotomy, differential between purusha, which is the space, the conscious space within which everything exists, and prakriti, what we hoard in our life and fit into our container, is significant when it comes to answering this question, who am I? Because oftentimes the first thing we find when we ask the question is we find everything that we're hoarding, who we think we are, our past, our narrative, everything that we've saved, our savings, our car, our pictures, our mementos, our sentimental past, and our story and our narrative. And the question, who am I, begins to burn that away. It's like a caustic, acrid, acidic, catalytic, burning acid that burns away who we think we are, which is the prakriti, everything that we've accumulated. And I think if I'm getting any closer myself, and I hope I'm getting a little closer to the answer, what comes closer to the answer is I am that I am. I'm the conscious space within which the whole movie, the whole game is playing out. And when I realize that, I begin to be relieved of the suffering, to the attachment and the addiction to all the stuff that I'm accumulating inside of myself. Now, this simply makes me more able to appreciate the passing stuff, but I don't need to hoard it anymore. And it also makes me realize, and you can tell me what you think, of the great blessing that death is, because we humans would just continue hoarding everything forever. Death, of course, is the great clearing away. Everything that we think is precious on earth, all the material accumulation is, of course, scraped away, because, as the great country song says, there are no U-Hauls to heaven. So I hope you're coming up with interesting answers to who you are, and you are that you are. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow. Stay cool.